In the Mike Tomlin era, the Steelers have never won fewer than 8 games, yet with a 1-3 start in 2022, it really isn't looking that good for them. So we're popping them in Madden. We're going to rebuild them. I think they're a good team. I just think they're kind of aging in certain positions, and they just really haven't put it all together yet. Haven't really fully invested in that offensive line until recently. Of course, they did spend money bringing in a couple of big free agents like James Daniels, but then also Mason Cole. I don't really know if that's spending responsibly. So in this rebuild, we'll look to really shore up the offensive line for future quarterback Kenny Pickett, who in real life looks like he may have won the starting job. Had an interesting game, 3 picks. They really weren't bad picks. One of them was. One was like a Hail Mary. Like, it really wasn't that bad. I think his only 3 incompletions were interceptions. It's like a Giants franchise stat line. But yeah, Pittsburgh Steelers rebuild. Got some good talent. Let's talk about the roster. Offensive line, left to right, is Dan Moore, Kevin Dotson, Mason Cole, James Daniels, and Chukwuma Okorafor. I'm not really comfortable with... I mean, Okorafor is like close. Just you got to factor in age plus overall and development trait. Probably not making the cut. Same thing for Dan Moore. Same thing for Mason Cole. Same thing for Kendrick Green, maybe. Maybe I should move him. I should start him at guard and move James Daniels back to center like he played at Iowa. That's probably the best move, but I'm not even sure that Kendrick Green ends up being a starter for me long term. Again, you just got to factor in age and development trait, and we probably have to improve on the offensive line outside of Daniels and Dotson. Loved Najee Harris. He was RB1 for me in that class, even though it was pretty close. Like Javonte Williams quite a bit as well. I was a big Michael Carter fan, but Najee is awesome. Just, you know, you talk about, would you rather have Najee Harris, who's great, or a running back, maybe somewhere down the board, with a better offensive lineman? It doesn't work always like that. It's easier said than done. But yeah, Najee's great, but they did take him in the first round over maybe a more valuable position, but he's really good. I really like Najee Harris. Deontay Johnson's one of the better route runners in the league. George Pickens has the potential to be an absolute monster. The only reason he fell in the draft was because of immaturity concerns and off the field stuff, and on the field, he, like, playing out of control at times, and you worry about where he is from a mental standpoint. But on the field, he was absolutely in the conversation for being the best receiver in this past draft class. No question about it. He was in that conversation. True X outside style receiver, and you saw him make an incredible catch. It's amazing he's a slot archetype, because that is not his game, in my opinion. He is, you know, maybe use him as a big slot, but he is an outside true X receiver, in my opinion. So the slot archetype is strange to me. Chase Claypool's in here. I prefer to rock George Pickens, but we'll see what the playbook ends up being. Kenny Pickett will be my starter. Only normal development, but I'm going to look to get him involved. He's a 24-year-old rookie, which is old for rookie standards, and at only a 67 overall with normal development, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to get Kenny Two Gloves going. It really will be. So the offense has some work to do, and then defensively, it's a pretty good unit all around. Brought in Miles Jack. Devin Bush is fine. Alex Highsmith is pretty good. TJ Watt, when healthy, where is he? Where is TJ Watt? And if you're watching this video before Sunday the 9th, these are my 5 favorite picks of this weekend. Underdog Fantasy, link is down in the description. You can use code BENGAL. They'll deposit match up to $100. So if you put in 100, they will give you 100 for free. I like Damian Harris over 57.5 yards. He's getting pretty consistent touches, and he's facing Detroit. The games have been pretty high scoring. I expect him to get a fair few amount of touches, and when the Lions are scoring as quickly as they have been, you know, the Patriots might have a lot of possessions, and if they can stay fairly close, you're going to see a lot of the running game involved. So Harris, I'm taking over 57.5. Nick Chubb has been incredibly consistent, getting a ton of carries. I have higher on 89.5 rushing yards. He's done over 110 in the past 2 games, and the Chargers, who he's faced up against, allowed 100 plus to James Robinson. So I think Chubb could go for 90. The Chargers throw the football so much, and Justin Herbert has gone over 279.5 in all of his games so far this year, so I see no reason why he wouldn't against Cleveland. Elijah Moore and Zach Wilson just seem to have that connection. Elijah Moore absolutely torched the Dolphins a year ago, I think his career high in receiving yards came against the Dolphins, and I think we're going to see more targets now that Zach Wilson's in the lineup, and I think over 45 or over 44.5 is good. And then Adam Thielen higher than 49.5 almost feels too good to be true. Justin Jefferson probably is going to be lined up against Jalen Johnson for a decent bit of the game, and Justin Jefferson's almost been a distraction at times for this Vikings offense, and leading Thielen to consistent targets and yards. Over 49.5 feels like the lock of the week, which surely means it won't happen. Those are my underdog fantasy picks of the week. Link is in the description. Use code BENGAL when you sign up. Please, it would help me out a lot, and I should have shown a map at some point if you can play on the screen during this. So thanks to Underdog for sponsoring the video, and let's get back to the video. Doesn't exist. We have Malik Reed. That's TJ Watt now. Minka is obviously one of the best safeties in the league. Akella Witherspoon, Levi Wallace, Cam Sutton. I don't know. I love the beast out of Charlotte, Larry Ogunjobi. Tyson Alualu is just too old at this point. And then Cam Hayward, who's still really, really good, is too old. He's 33. He can't be somebody that we rely on long term because he's just not going to be here. He's going to retire. He's going to regress. We got a plan to upgrade defensively as well. But the team is, I think, closer than it is far, if that makes sense. But where is TJ Watt? I know he's injured. I know he is. But why is he not on the team? I guess I forgot to turn on or turn off pre-existing injury. I guess for season 1, it makes sense. It's not going to let me turn it off, even though we're in week 1 of the preseason. I guess you had to do that before. But we'll go ahead and simulate to the midseason. No TJ Watt, 1-3, but I guess maybe I'll set that to 1-3 so we get maybe a more realistic draft position. Well, the Steelers actually won this game. I stopped it too late. So we'll just go ahead and reverse the results of this one. Versus Patriots, we'll go home. Either way, we got it to 1-3, and we'll simulate the midseason mark where we're going to worry about the draft class. I'm not beyond drafting a quarterback, by the way. I won't do it year 1. I can promise you that, unless there's like a superstar freak quarterback. Okay, then maybe we'll consider that. But I'm looking at other positions, trying to make the guys around Kenny Pickett better, whether that's on defense or offense. We're just looking to take the best player available at a position of need. 1-6 at the midseason mark is not good. Got to check out this draft class. Oh no, we got a great to elite speed quarterback. This could be interesting. Oh, I'm not going to be able to pass on him if he's got like 4.3 speed. I'm just not. If they run in the 4.3s, 4.2s like you see sometimes, I can't pass on that. Although for the most part, I'm not thrilled with what I'm seeing. There's some okay players. I don't know. I'm not really feeling the strengths of the class. Right tackle, defensive tackle, wide receiver. I'll look at tackle. But Dan Donahue, I mean, I'm not taking that guy number 1. I'm just not going to do it. And we don't even know that we're going to have the number 1 overall pick, by the way. We'll do offensive tackle because it is a position of need. Absolutely have to improve there. If Elton Jenkins is available in free agency, it remains an option. Let's go ahead and see who our expiring contracts are. Alualu, well, he wants to resign, but he's 35. I'd give him the contract. He wants more money? Dude, no. Terrell Edmonds is going to be a no from me. I mean, no. I do want to bring back Devin Bush, though. For every flaw he may have in real life, in Madden, he looks great. 24 years old, star dev, 79 overall. Got to remember, we are in Madden. Got to keep good players. And Devin Bush, 5-year extension keeps him in Pittsburgh. Cam Sutton, I don't really want. I don't know. Solomon Kindley, kind of forgot about him. He has star development. I'd give him a 3-year deal, a little bit more than he wants. Doesn't really want to come back, but this is my best offer. He wants more money. Not for me. Larry Ogunjobi, this is my guy, but no. Dude, they all want a lot of money for not going to be good in 2 years. And I'm just going to revamp the team a little bit, I think. These players are right on the borderline, but when you figure that Larry Ogunjobi is going to regress, he will never be higher than like a 76 overall. He's going to go straight down now that he's 28. Solomon Kindley's not even a 70, and he's 25 years old. Where am I going to play him? Chris Wormley, just not good enough. 28 years old, 74 overall. He will only go down. I got to get younger, got to get better. Cam Sutton, I would do a 2-year deal. This is actually fine. I would do a 2-year deal. Cam Sutton can be a replacement level player or a bridge player until I can get a replacement. And then Terrell Edmonds, I just really don't want. I would give him like a 2-year deal. I would up the money a little bit. I'm still looking at safety. Yeah, I can do better in free agency. All right, we're going to go to it. Goodbye. There are some really good-looking right tackles in this class, though. Getting those 3 at 100%. Or where's the other guy? I did an outside linebacker. Let me make it the right tackle. I want to know about all 3 of these guys. So I'll take it off Clyde the Glide, and put it on Isaiah Thompson. They look really good. The fact that these 3 tackles are pass protectors with good run blocking is super intriguing to me. So I just want to get those 3 at 100%, and then we'll know if, okay, maybe that player is worth taking in the first round. Usually the tackles are not, in my experience, but this could be different. We end up going 5-12, so better than the 1-8 start. We finished strong. They made Mitchell Trubisky my quarterback. Oh, why did they change it? Yeah, not good. Najee Harris ends up with over 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns, not too bad. No 1,000-yard receivers. Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool came fairly close. Pat Freiermuth had 5 touchdowns along with Claypool. And we didn't even mention him, by the way. But Devin Bush and Myles Jack neck and neck for the tackle lead, 134, 132 respectively. Cam Hayward, 15 TFLs, 11 sacks. 8.5 for Alex Highsmith. Still no TJ Watt, but he should be back for the next season. Not really a ton of interceptions either. We're just going to move on from this just bad season. Only 5 wins, a complete albatross. So we'll forget it. We'll move on. We'll be better in 2023. Jags, Panthers, Super Bowl, just as we all expected. Christian McCaffrey, Super Bowl MVP. Probably be injured by that point, I guess. Patrick Mahomes wins NFL MVP. Romeo Doubs, Offensive Rookie of the Year for the Packers. And let me tell you, what a difficult name. Romeo Doubs, right? Receiver with Carson Strong at Nevada, right? And all of the commentators, the announcers, the play-by-play guys said Dubs. He never corrected anyone until like preseason. It's Romeo Doubs, but I have to retrain my brain. And it's like I used to say, like some people in the Northeast say Florida or orange, and I've retrained my brain to say Florida and orange. It's funny if you go back a few years ago to see how I say those versus now. I've retrained my brain. I'm getting down with that, but Romeo Doubs, it's tough to look at that and go Dobbs. What I've been saying, Dubs. But cool to see him win Offensive Rookie of the Year because, he has a promising young start to his career. I think the Packers receivers are going to end up coming along pretty nicely. Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs. But it's too much to ask of any rookie receiver to just come out and be amazing. Like, you get a few of those, a year at best, maybe a few. So it's a tough task. It takes a while for some of these guys, and it's just cool to see him coming out and playing well. I know he hasn't done anything crazy yet, nothing crazy, but he's going to get more opportunities. I'm sure the first 100-yard game from Romeo Doubs is not too far away. We'll see. Do I want to do any more negotiations? Terrell Edmonds has star development. That changes things. It really, really does. Really changes things. He's 26. Of course, the brother of Tremaine Edmonds of the Bills. He wants to stay close to home, which is Virginia, apparently all the way. Interesting that that's all the way. Like, Pennsylvania and Virginia are close. Let's give him a 3-year deal. The star dev changes everything. It really, really does. Because now it seems like, okay, instead of capping out at maybe an 80, maybe an 81, he could be an 83, 84. And that's just a little bit more intriguing to me. So that's why we bring back Terrell Edmonds. But we'll advance to free agency. I would still potentially bring in a safety or a hybrid player that can play slot corner. Looking for a boundary corner. I mean, I'm probably going to start Kenny Pickett unless we draft a QB. It feels kind of lame to do a Steelers rebuild and not use their first-round pick quarterback. I know he hasn't started in real life yet, even though he did play. But the CPU changed my depth chart, and I didn't realize. So I'd like to do a season with Kenny Pickett just to see what we can do, which I know it's just if I put him in the right playbook, he'll be effective. But I'm not sure he'll ever be a high enough overall. Receiver's not really in play for me. Tight end I think is fine. Left tackle's bad here. Not going to sign Justin Pugh or Briley Bozeman. Not going to bring in Nate Davis. Elton Jenkins is here, but he has no interest. Rob Havenstein's here, but there are some decent tackles in the draft. I would give Havenstein a 1-year contract. I'll pay him, but I am actively in search of his replacement, and he might go to the Ravens anyway. Deron Payne has interest, though, and would be a very good Tyson Alualu replacement. He is fairly expensive, but he's a great fit for the system, and I think that's going to be my big signing. The Broncos are really going to give him all that money? Come on, don't, please. All right, giving him a little bit more money. Broncos still very much in play. Going to be tough to get Deron Payne. We might swing and miss through the entire free agency, man. This is bad. Josh Allen, though, now it's different. Also, Josh Allen from New Jersey. I guess I didn't know about that. Or did I? It feels vaguely familiar, but I can't say for certain. Would be a big upgrade over Alex Highsmith, who is good, but Allen is just better. Of course, you know, not the Bills quarterback, obviously, but Josh Allen, big-time pass rusher, mutual interest for sure. So we're targeting Josh Allen, Deron Payne, Rob Havenstein. I think we'll probably come away with just Josh Allen, and they're all gone. We signed 2 of them. Deron Payne and Josh Allen. Havenstein probably goes to the Ravens. That's fine. That's totally fine. Big upgrades on defense. TJ Watt just got a real dominant force on the other side to take some of the heat off. This could be a really good pass rush duo. And with Deron Payne holding blocks, they might have some more opportunities for one-on-ones and things like that. I'm liking it, personally. More private workouts. For sure, one of the ones I'm going to do is on the quarterback. That looked really fast. Thankfully, this year, you can actually check the scouting card before committing, which is a really nice change and an obvious one. These tackles are round 1 to 2 guys. A little bit disappointing, but that doesn't mean they're undraftable, especially down the board here. Round 2 to 3 talent, though, looks brutal. Timmy Walton does have elite speed. Ran in the 4.4s, 4.39 at his pro day with that pro day quick clock. He definitely looks good. I don't know. Not generational by any means, but man, it's going to be tough to ignore that down the board. I want to work with Kenny Pickett, though. Ooh, Curtis Barkley looks sweet. Elite speed, elite change of direction. He looks good. I know we have a tight end, but this one looks really good. Elite speed, middle linebacker. A awareness, B tackle, B pursuit. He's all right. All right, we got the number 5 overall pick in the draft. Should know more about some of those focus players. I decided to check out the quarterback, who's round 2 to 3 talent. Not shocking for a player like that. I guess I did it on the tight end, who still does look really good, but probably wouldn't be a responsible draft pick. I did it on Clyde Robinson as well. A to B block shed, B pursuit, A tackle, A zone coverage. Pretty good athlete, nothing exceptional, but just going to be a good player. All right, 5th pick. I would really be for trading down, obviously. That's just what I do. Be all for it. But the question is, who do I take? Micah Cherry is like a Hall of Fame name, not an athlete. The tight end just looks so good. A medium route running, A spectacular catch, A deep route running. We have Freiermuth, but does that mean I ignore a potentially generational tight end? Raiders offering me number 10 and a 2nd round pick next year to move down. I'm going to do that. If the tight end is still on the board, we're going to have a bit of a tough decision. I kind of hope he gets drafted. There goes Clyde Robinson, who's pretty good. Tight end is still on the board by a decent bit. We can move down 5 spots with the Colts, get number 15, and a 3rd rounder. I'm going to do that. Again, I kind of hope the tight end gets drafted so that I don't have to be like, oh God, I'm going to draft a tight end in the 1st round and do exactly what I was kind of making fun of them or making fun of them earlier for taking Najee Harris in round 1. He's still on the board. I'm going to take him. I apologize. Do I really? I mean, he's going to be really good. I would be shocked if he was below a 77 overall. I really think he's going to be quite good. And also, what's the alternative? I can get one of these tackles, right? But I would probably have to trade back up to do it. It might be for Kirk Pickens. Man, it's just... It's just, come on. We have Freiermuth. I will do a realistic rebuild of the Steelers later in the year, more than likely. And I probably wouldn't take a tight end, but here, no, it's just not the right decision. Or is it? Is Kirk Pickens the right choice? He's good. Good player. We could move back up for him potentially. I'm going to take both. I'm going to try to. Curtis Barkley is my first pick. Dude, I don't know. I just think he's going to be really good, and I want a really good player. So we're dealing with it. 87 speed, 85 change of direction is quite high, 87 acceleration, 6'5", 240 with some of these attributes just seems really, really good. Like 85 change of direction for 6'5", 240 seems crazy to me. But I don't know. We'll see if he's any good. Should be pretty good. And I'm going to try and move back up for the right tackle here with the Chargers. All right, number 37 and a third. Can that move me up to 17? It's going to be close. What about a 4 and I keep a third? Not quite. Adding another third gets it done, though. So I'm trading the opportunity to take anybody else down the board. I would have to trade future picks to move back up. But we do move up to number 17 and hopefully take a future cornerstone left tackle or right tackle. It's the right tackle, Kirk Pickens, but we could obviously slide him over. 6'7", 308, mountain of a man. Very athletic, but not very strong. So he's going to be a sick pass protector. Wonder what that means for Najee. 81 strength is so bad. But that's all right. He doesn't need to be that strong. Maybe he can still be a good tackle. I don't know. I'm going to look to see if there are any other players worth drafting at any point that I have to move up for. Right now, it seems like maybe not, probably not, which is kind of why I decided to trade up. But obviously, if there's somebody that, it makes sense to move up for, I will. This other tackle, KJ Cousins. KJ Cousins might be the one. A lot of A's in there. A run block and pass block finesse. And he's got great speed, elite change of direction and agility, good strength. KJ Cousins might be the one. 22 spots down the board. We'll see if he's available in round 2 at some point. Timmy Walton goes to the Packers, by the way. Can never have too many backup first-round quarterbacks. Now, John Schmidt in round 2 to 3 looks pretty good also. Another really solid-looking offensive lineman. We could potentially move up for him as well. He's 44 spots down the board, but I think I'm going to trade up to the top of the second round to take another tackle. But I could have done that if I chose not to take a tight end. We have 2 second-round picks next year. Can we just straight swap these? Surely not. Surely not. What if we added in a 4th? Nope. What if we added in a 3rd next year? That works. So we're trading 2 second-round picks next year and a 3rd next year. I know. For 2 second-round picks this year from the Seattle Seahawks. KJ Cousins, 6'5", 306, 21 years old, out of Ohio State. Looks good. I mean, run block, questionable, but that's not our game. We're a pass-heavy team now. And KJ Cousins, 87 strength, 71 speed, maybe not the best run blocker ever. Face doesn't even come close to matching the skin tone on his arms. That's great stuff from EA per usual. And we'll move on, okay? Back end of the second round now. If that guard is still available, I think that's where I'm going. 25 spots down the board. I mean, we could trade down. Although BJ Flanagan down the board is another interesting option. Looks quite good. Maybe not quite as good as Schmidt. We're moving down here with the Rams, picking up a 4th next year in the process. We get pick number 61 overall, which really isn't too far down the board, thankfully. And we'll take John Schmidt. We'll get a little bit more value for the pick. And then I think with our 4th round pick, trade down for a future 3 or 4. All right, John Schmidt looks pretty solid. Maybe not a starter right away, but also you never know. Hidden dev, 89 strength. Speed is nice at a 69. Acceleration, pretty good too at an 81. Potential diamond in the rough here at the end of the second round. I guess it's not like, in real life, that player could just become good. But here in the game, it's not too bad. Niners going to give me a future 3. For this 4th rounder. So I'm going to do that. We need to go ahead and get more picks after we traded a ton of them for the 2 second round picks we got in this year's draft. So we reaccumulated some draft picks there. We really only end up losing 2 second rounders. So not the worst. Draft recap, I'm really interested to see what the tight end looks like. 73 overall is way lower than I expected. The overalls for all of these players are way lower than I expected. In fact, Joel West, who's a normal development center, is a 74 overall, is just good. 75 run block, 75 pass block, but no hidden dev. It just wasn't a good draft class. 73, 73, 73, 72. The overalls are not great. Was it just a weak draft class overall? Oh, incredibly so. The highest was a 76. Oh my goodness. This is maybe the weakest draft class I've seen in all of Madden 23. I feel like we look a lot better though. Barkley, I guess, can play fullback and tight end. 73 overall is so disappointing. I really thought this dude was going to be nasty. Run blocking is terrible. Route running is not too bad. Pass blocking is actually not too bad. He's not awful, just is not, you know, nearly as good as I expected. I didn't think the draft class would be terrible, but it was. And probably going to start Schmidt over Kendrick Green. The offensive line looks revamped, and we got to change the offense to make it fit. Also, Trubisky, no. So the offensive line is set up. It actually doesn't look so bad now that I'm looking at it. Just the only thing I'm disappointed about is that the tight end is not like a 77 overall plus. So that's a little bit disappointing, I suppose. But the offensive line is revamped now. I think those guys are going to end up being really, really good. And then defensively, we get TJ Watt back, which is nice. Probably got to change the defense. I might move Josh Allen down to right end. I know he's not a 3-4 defensive end, but trust me, he's going to line at more of a true defensive end spot and still be a rush end. So this is the best way to set things up, getting our best players on the field. We need an improvement over DeMarvin Leal for sure. But for now, I guess he's going to start. Can't really do much about that. We'll look to do better at some point. Kelly Witherspoon's up to star. Cam Sutton's up to star. Not too bad. TJ Watt doesn't have superstar X Factor. How is that possible? How is that possible? Well, hopefully with a big season, he goes up to superstar X Factor. And also, I noticed a defensive player with star development or better, supposedly. Cole Sheldon. Ooh, man, is he slow. That doesn't do anything well either. Nice. Ooh, and they already have changed my depth chart. We'll change it at the regular season. I'm going vertical zone run Tampa Bay. It fits the rookies on my offensive line. I'm not going to trade Alex Highsmith. Those are who the trade offers are for. We're going to go ahead and keep that. And Kenny Pickett starter. Anything else? I don't think so. What's funny is I spent like a top 15 pick on a fullback. And now I'm running a playbook that doesn't really even feature one tight end, let alone two. I'm sure this is going to go well. Let's see how 2023 goes. I'm going to stop just to make sure they're not changing my depth chart. Yep, depth chart looks good. We're good to go. 5-2 at week 8 here, which is quite the turnaround. It's the Kenny Pickett effect, clearly. 6 players ready to negotiate contracts. It's Miles Jack, who has no interest. Alex Highsmith, who has moderate interest. Chase Claypool. Do I even want Chase Claypool? Levi Wallace. Akello Witherspoon. Actually impactful starters everywhere. And it seems like I'm going to have to pay for some of these guys because do they want to win? We've changed the system here. Vertical zone run he wants. I don't know. They're trying to get me. Nope. Goodbye. Now, I signed Lane Taylor to be a mentor at the position. So, going to try to extend him so I can use him in contract negotiations with Kevin Dotson. 200 IQ. 100 IQ. 80 probably. Breakout running back. Najee to superstar X Factor? Yes. Let's go, Najee. 2-year deal for Lane Taylor. Oh, big time plays. Akello Witherspoon. 2-year deal. Let's go ahead and sign Witherspoon to an extension. I don't know what happened. I guess we went from... In the Super Bowl, Chase went to league favorite and upped his interest more. Alex Highsmith, I don't really know that I would want to sign Highsmith to anything more than like a 3-year extension. Probably could do a little bit better than him, but he wants a lot of money. I don't know, he's back. Levi Wallace, 2-year extension for him. He's back as well. And Kevin Dotson is not. I mean, we have Lane Taylor in there, but he just wants to be in a vertical zone run scheme, and we don't have that. Ooh, breakout quarterback challenge in a loss, 31-24. Okay. Mitch Trubisky? No way, dude. Stop changing it. Barkley's got star dev. Schmidt has star. Cousins has star. Pickens has star. Everybody's got star. I'm just going to release Mitch Trubisky. Dude, it's so annoying when I make Kenny Pickett the starter. I confirm it, and all of a sudden they're like, nah, he's not the starter anymore. And he started for a while, but then they just randomly changed it. Oh, it's because I signed Lane Taylor. Oh, it's so dumb. 12-5. Not bad. 12-5 is third in the division. 4 teams won 11 or more games, including 2 in the AFC North with 13. All right. Mitchell Trubisky. Did he... No way. If the CPU re-signed Mitchell Trubisky and Trubisky's on my team right now, I'm gonna freak. What are we doing? What are we doing that this is happening to me? This is a sick joke. It's a joke. All right, lowest overall quarterback, Michigan State legend Brian Lewerke. Welcome. All right, I'm annoyed. Rushing, Najee Harris, pretty good. Over 5 yards per carry, 12 touchdowns. This is a phenomenal year. Receiving, Deontay Johnson, 100 catches for over 1,300 yards, 9 touchdowns. Chase Claypool was pretty productive as well. 9 touchdowns for George Pickens, who might step into a more elevated role with Chase Claypool probably not being re-signed. Freiermuth was pretty good. And Curtis Barkley, hey, not too bad there. Defensively, plenty of tackles for Miles Jack. And then as you can see, put up pretty good numbers. 21 tackles for loss for Josh Allen, including 14.5 sacks. TJ Watt matched that number. 8 sacks for Deron Payne, who also had 16 for loss. And then 6 sacks for Highsmith. I like the way the defense was performing. About the same number of interceptions as we had last year. Something fairly similar. And I think defensively it'll show in our rating here. We were the number 3 defense. First in pass yards per game, 9th in rushing yards. Our offense was about league average, maybe a little bit better. And we'll see if we can beat the Jaguars. See if we can beat the Jaguars here. Nope, 39-32, that's it. Season over. Season recap, Browns, Bucks. Josh Allen, but not the one we signed, wins MVP. Aaron Donald, Defensive Player of the Year. Cedric Jones, rookie quarterback for the Bucks, wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. A little redundant there. But Deshaun Watson, Super Bowl MVP. Classy as always. Players ready to negotiate. We have $78 million to bring guys back. Miles Jack is up to Superstar Dev. I'd like to bring him back. And because he's not super interested, we're going to have to give him quite a bit of money. And we'll offer him. And Miles Jack returns. That was a little bit of a dicey one. Claypool, I think we're going to let walk. Kevin Dotson, I really would like to bring him back. And now he doesn't care about mentors. He's like, I want to be where it's warm. Don't care. I'm going to give you more money, and you're going to sign back. Yes, Kevin Dotson returns. And yeah, I'll just pass on Claypool. All right, free agents. Nick Bosa is an option. Justin Jefferson, Justin Herbert, Sean Gary. There's some pretty good players in here. The question is, we have money. We can afford to go big with some of these. Okay, so Kenny Pickett is just never going to start for us in this. TJ Watt does go up to Superstar X Factor. Josh Allen to Superstar. Do I just go crazy and get Nick Bosa? I know he's not like the traditional 3-4 defensive end. And we have 2 rush ends already. I'll probably look to get a defensive tackle. Minka lost Superstar. Akella Witherspoon lost star. Cam Sutton lost star. Corners. I mean, Bryce Hall would be good. Rashawn Gary was like a defensive tackle coming out of high school. New Jersey guy. And kind of played like a hybrid role at Michigan. I thought he was going to be like a 5-tech in the league. But he's an outside linebacker. Kind of crazy that he's an outside linebacker because he's like 280 pounds. And he's obviously a super freak athlete. I think he's going to work perfectly for my team. So I'm going to go ahead and offer Rashawn Gary. Doesn't even have to be that much, I guess, because nobody else is offering on him. I'll bring it down a little bit. I want Rashawn Gary. That is the best fit for my team right now. Has to happen. Has to happen. Also, Justin Jefferson's here. We have the money to offer him. So I'm going to offer him, and hopefully we can bring him in. That's quite a good Chase Claypool replacement. Having a receiving core that features Deontay Johnson and Justin Jefferson, how many corners are going to be able to cover those guys? Very few. The question becomes, though, which quarterback will throw to them? Because we have Kenny Pickett. The CPU does not want him to play. They'll do whatever it takes to not let him play. And as you can see, it was a good free agency. We brought in Justin Jefferson and Rashawn Gary. However, with 20 mil cap room remaining, I really do not feel comfortable going after anybody else. I want to save that money because we're going to have to extend some players in the near future. And I want to have money available to be able to do that. So we're done spending money, but we can be. There's no problem there because we upgraded big time at wide receiver. Huge addition. Huge addition. And then defensively, getting Rashawn Gary is incredibly big. Okay, defense looks sick now. Rashawn Gary is a great fit as a 3-4 defensive end. 6'5", 280 is going to be awesome. Block shedding could be a little bit higher, but he's going to be great for me. And then specialist-wise, I probably will just keep it like Josh Allen rush left end and then Gary rush D tackle. Jerome Parrish, if you're available in round 2, A, ball carrier vision. I need a backup running back. He's got elite change of direction and B, break tackle, B, stiff arm, B, carrying. A to C juke move, I think with elite change of direction probably will be pretty high. I need there to be some good corners. Need it. There's some okay ones. Jacoby Phillips and Dwayne Rosenthal look like they could be good. Ooh, and he's slow. Not good. Ooh, elite speed corner, elite acceleration, elite jumping for Jacoby Phillips. Now, isn't the best cover guy at the moment, but I am in. Round 1, pick 24 is where we first start. Now, who did I look at? I looked at Jacoby Phillips. He's up to 90%. Looks really good. Got to trade up for him. I know Jerome Parrish at 90%. It's not going to tell me juke move. It's going to be like still a range, unfortunately. Oh, it is A. Yeah, he's going to be great. But I probably won't be able to draft him. And where's the defensive tackle I looked at? Was it James Vallejo? It was. B finesse moves, B power moves as a power rusher. Yeah, nah. I'm worried I'm going to have to trade into the top 10 in order to get that corner. But it would be worth it. Bears have the 8th pick. We're going to try and move up for it. Unfortunately, it might take as much as a 3rd and a 4th to get it done. It might even be more than that. Ooh, we're projected to have the number 5 pick next year. This is what's happening. I might just straight up trade. I might just give it to him. It's going to be a 1 next year. And I'll give him a 4 this year. And we'll move up to number 8. All right. It is what it is. I'm happy about it. Jacoby Phillips should be good. Elite athlete. Acceleration, jumping, speed. Very happy about that. And then he's good enough in coverage. B-man. What's his own? C. So it's probably going to be something like 77, 78 man, 70 like 3 zone. Press is going to be pretty good. And he's a great athlete. I would bet he's probably in the mid to high 70s. So can't be mad about it. 95 excel, 95 speed, 92 change of direction. Good jumping, good agility. Really good player. And we do get to keep our number 24 overall pick as a result of trading a first rounder next year. But I'm really thinking about trading it down, seeing if we can get one of these teams picking at the top of the 2nd round, maybe the Patriots, get their 2nd round pick and a first next year if I can somehow, because I do want to replace that first round pick I gave up. So let's go ahead and try that. Okay, trading number 24, number 80, number 120 for number 33 this year and a first next year from the Patriots. It's projected to be at the end of the first round, which is good for us because that way it's easier to trade for. And we'll evaluate the board at the top of the 2nd round. If the running back makes it there, which it seems like he didn't, we'll take him. If not, we'll reevaluate, and we'll have to reevaluate. Trying to think about where we'd go here. I feel like our offensive line's in a really good spot. We just upgraded corner. I like my defensive line. I like my linebackers. I don't even know what I would take here. I'm sure there's a team that's going to want to give me a first-round pick next year. Yeah, there is. The Bills, the Dolphins. The Dolphins going to be good? Come on. How good could they be? Get a first-round pick from them and then simulate the rest of the draft. This has gone kind of weird, I guess. We've been all right, though. I feel like we're in a really good spot. Spent some money, traded a lot. 2024 draft recap. How'd we do? He is a 77 overall, so I think I predicted that. And I'm going to throw him right in immediately. Now, his coverage is worse than I thought. 75 man, 67 zone. Play rec is taking it down a bit. I don't really know, or did I say play rec's taking it down? Morale is taking it down. I don't know why that's happening, but he's good. Good, not amazing. Let's see where he ranks with the rest of the class here. He is about the highest overall. Now, Jerome Parrish, who I said was going to be good, is a 77 overall. Only normal development, and the Packers strike again. Kind of reminding me of Ryan Grant there, but he looks good. He looks like a good running back. Just, you know, not amazing, but good. 91 juke, 90 speed, 88 agility. Like, he's good, no question. Also, this dude, Patriots pick, highest receiver or highest rated player in the class. Only normal development, by the way. Yeah, shocked this dude ended up on the Patriots. A 78 overall slot receiver. And you can tell he works hard. Yeah, dude. Shock that guy ended up on the Patriots. Hard-working, first one in, last guy out. Real gritty, tough player. Yeah, absolute shock. But let's go ahead and organize the team. It's going to take 20 minutes to load in. Ooh, or that's going to happen. How about fix that, please? Dude, our team's going to be so good. How are we not? New CB1. What's his name? Jacoby Phillips. It's like a combination of the LSU players on a certain team with the safety Jacoby Stevens and the linebacker Jacob Phillips also, or it's just Jacob Phillips with a Y at the end, but that's less fun. Wanted to take the opportunity to flex that I remember Jacoby Stevens. I just looked him up as well. Played 1 year in the NFL in 2021 with the Eagles. Is not on a team right now. And moved to linebacker in the NFL. Or maybe even for a year at LSU. But I remember him as safety. But I guess that's not relevant. So we'll go ahead, simulate to the regular season. I'm expecting the #1 defense. We should be. Or close to it, I guess. And I think our offense should be great. Kenny Pickett's going to take us to the promised land. We don't have Mason Rudolph getting in the way. Or Mitch Trubisky, but who cares? Why would I even need to distinguish them, to be honest? I don't. Don't need to. Doesn't matter. But we'll see what happens. This should be a really, really good team. I have high hopes, which means they can only get crushed. I'm going to move Rashawn Gary to rush D tackle. Josh Allen will be a rush end. George Pickens in the slot. I mean, I guess feels like not a good decision, but we're going to do it. Rashawn Gary, rush 92 overall defensive tackle. Or I didn't say those in the right order. That's okay. It's not about the order you say things sometimes. You just got to get the words close and people will figure it out, or they won't. So, all right. We'll simulate to the... I don't know what I'm talking about, dude. It's 2 in the morning. I'm going to be at TwitchCon San Diego. Don't really care about the convention. Not really a convention guy. More of a con guy. I'm stealing your time right now. Anyway, my point is it's late. I'm getting a lot of recording done. And I'm clearly delirious at this point. 5-2 at the midseason mark. We have the number 18 defense. Sweet. Number 6 offense, though. You know what they say, offense wins championships. That's right. Our national focus position, I should just do... Dude, is quarterback ever going to be the strength? I'm doing corner, and we're just going to keep rocking out with Kenny Pickett. Probably will do one more season after this, regardless of result. I've only been recording for 2 hours. That's nothing, right? Najee, Deontay Johnson. How do you not want to come back? Pittsburgh is a city of dreams. We don't have a franchise quarterback. Deontay Johnson, got to pay him too. Everyone wants a franchise quarterback. Nobody wants one more than me. We don't have it. Relax. James Daniels wants money. He should be able to re-sign, though. Wants less time. I'm giving you, like, security. All right, Najee, though. Why do you want more money, dude? Just be team-oriented, please. It's probably like I am team-oriented, just not this team. Deontay Johnson? Deontay Johnson is team-oriented. He's back. Love it. We'll figure it out down the line. That's problems for Bengal in 20 minutes. Right now, we're playoff-focused. We're looking good, playing well. I like it. Oh, we go 8-9. Absolute major collapse. Wow. Okay. Well, that sucks. Ooh, we just really liked losing in the second half. Week 8 hit and we go, we're going to lose 4 in a row. We can't get to the playoffs doing that and then alternating wins the rest of the year. It's just not going to work. What held us back? Our defense was so bad. Why, though? Why, though? Also, there was a QB that threw for over 6,000 yards. I see Kenny Pickett's numbers. Great. Bucks offense, man. This dude, Cedric Jones, is a monster. He's an 84 overall, playing up to an 88. He just completely shattered the record for passing yards in a season. He has 99 throw power. I haven't really seen much of that this year. I mean, okay. Yeah, he put up some numbers. I don't know. Kenny Pickett, not bad. 15 picks is probably too many, but the numbers are pretty good. And he has the quarterback of the future tag. Will surely go up to star dev. But he's also a 70 overall, and he's 26. Oh, gosh. Najee Harris was great. Receiving, Justin Jefferson crushed it. Deontay Johnson was awesome. George Pickens was electric. Pat Freiermuth was fine. Defensively, we have Miles Jack having plenty of tackles. 18 tackles for loss for Deron Payne, 17 for Allen, 16 for Gary, 14 for TJ Watt. Why was our defense so bad? 19.5 sacks for TJ Watt, 18 for Allen, 12.5 for Gary. Why were we not good? 4 picks for Jacoby Phillips. Could it be good enough to give him Rookie of the Year? Real possibility. Man, his zone coverage is so bad. And the CPU refuses to upgrade it. Come on, man. Well, now we're definitely doing one more season. We are an 89 overall, and we go 8-9. Whenever you match your overall, it's usually not good. Usually not for a stretch. But if you get into the 90s, it's a different story. Maybe if we get to a 90 overall, we'll start the season 9-0. I like that logic. Panthers win the Super Bowl. Cedric Jones obviously wins MVP. Nick Bosa, Defensive Player of the Year. And we got robbed here. We got robbed. No Steelers anywhere in there. Brian Burns wins Super Bowl MVP. It's like the opposite of the first Broncos-Panthers Super Bowl, where Von Miller won MVP as a game wrecker, destroyed the Panthers. I guess this time with the Spider, Brian Burns, they get their revenge. If only we didn't have a 70 overall quarterback. Oh, Tom Brady's on the Giants now. Okay. Not going to question it. If you have Steelers anywhere in there, TJ Watt, Josh Allen, 3 and 4. Gary. No, it's Miles Jack at 10. Show me Defensive Rookie of the Year, though. Show me getting robbed. Yeah, Jacoby Phillips second. Deion Billups won it. Come on. Okay. Players ready to negotiate. Najee's down to star dev. Pat Freiermuth. James Daniels. I will offer James Daniels a low-risk contract to return. James Daniels is back. We needed him to return. Najee, I'd like to have back. Same thing for Freiermuth. And I will give both of them low-risk contracts to get it done. He's not interested in signing. I'm not interested in caring. I'll franchise tag you. And I'll go very low risk for Pat Freiermuth. We do not have money to be active in free agency, but that's okay. We spent money already. We managed to bring back the core of the team. We are fine. Yes, I'm paying a running back $17 million this year. We're close to it. That's all right. We're keeping Najee in Pittsburgh. This is what it costs. So if we want to improve here in this final year, it will have to happen in the draft. Artie Bronson, I mean, that's like a 1950s Hall of Fame name. Jimmy Saunders, dude, Bobby Booth, Ben Klein. These are 1950s quarterbacks. There's a joke to be made there with Artie Bronson. I'm going to leave it. Jimmy Saunders. Only solid speed. I was really hoping for more from the scrambler archetype, top 5. He's good. I think a quarterback takes us over the top. Kenny Pickett. I don't know, man. Bud Allen from Texas. These are 1950s names. Hook 'em horns, by the way. It's kind of corny that I do say hook 'em horns instead of just hook 'em. I know it's probably corny to some of you that I even say it at all. But that's kind of the point. Kind of the point. All right, we'll take a look at these quarterbacks and Jose Whitlock from Texas. NFL draft time. We have the 6th overall pick that gives us some flexibility to move up to number 1 if we want a quarterback. Wow, Artie Bronson is a round 2 to 3 talent. Jimmy Saunders, round 1 to 2. That's our best shot. And we'll keep him in state too. Temple is in Philadelphia. I don't really think he looks amazing, but he's going to be okay. Round 1 to 2 talent at quarterback's not too bad. It's like, it should be mid-70s, 74, 75, 76. And Jose Whitlock looks great, but obviously shouldn't be my focus. I need a quarterback. I need Jimmy Saunders. There goes Artie Bronson. Does Jimmy Saunders make it to 3? He does. I don't know why I mess around with it that way. I'm just asking for trouble. But, I mean, oh, the Vikings need a quarterback? What if you guys didn't? What if you... Oh, and we pick at number 12? Oh, dude, I'm good. I'll give you the second round pick to get it done. Would have taken less. All right, quarterback of the future. Jimmy Saunders out of Temple. Welcome to Pittsburgh. Oh, no. Normal dev isn't the end of the world if he's actually good. He's got 90 throw power. Already better than Kenny Pickett. There's no way at round 1 to 2 talent that he's worse than Kenny Pickett overall-wise. There's just no way. Surely, right? All right, I'll take Jose Whitlock because he's good. I'll let the CPU handle the rest. Hidden dev, 90 speed. Texas, Forever Street. 88 acceleration. You know, I wonder, how many references do I say that just go right over heads? Probably like at least half of them. At least. Draft recap. I'd like to do well, man. He's a 74. So is the middle linebacker. Did all right down the board. 74, I mean, we predicted that. But, I mean, you'd hope for a better development trait. As you can see, Chip Platt from Alabama. Neil Peralta. Dude, I don't even... These names, I just feel like, are very old school. It feels like they kind of nerf draft classes a bit, but I know that's not the case. We're just getting a little bit unlucky not to have any, like, you know, awesome potential players. It's mainly just been, like, whatever draft classes. And we just haven't had the opportunity to take, like, a real awesome player. They haven't existed. All right, do I go with Kenny Pickett or do I start the quarterback that I just drafted? Kenny Pickett is a 68 overall. It's so bad. It's so bad. And I'm going to start him anyway. It's the Kenny Pickett rebuild. It is what it is. It is what it is. We're going to try and rock out with it. Josh Allen up to Superstar X Factor. Corners, not great. Not great. Now, there's also just a really good chance the CPU says, you know what? Kenny Pickett, you're not the starter anymore, but I'm going to rock out with him. Final year, I think we're going to make the playoffs. I really do. Our defense has been elite in the past. And, you know, last season just wasn't there. Offense was kind of there, but not all the way. We're an 89 overall. I expect big things. I will change the playbook at the midseason mark if it's not going well, because we have to make the playoffs this year. We have to. 4-2 at the midseason mark. It doesn't really tell me a lot. Our offense is number 5. Our defense is number 2. That seems good. Now, how our offense is scoring that many points per game when we're like middle of the pack for yards passing per game and really low down the board for rushing yards per game doesn't bode well. But our defense has been awesome. The problem is the Browns and the Ravens are 5-2. I don't like that. 4-3. We lost to the Dolphins. We can't lose to the Ravens here. Okay, that's a huge win. We're playing essentially for the wild card with the Browns at 7-2 now. We need to keep winning. We're a 90 overall. Do not lose to these teams. Thank you. Okay, we lost in week 12. 7-4 is still pretty good. It's not amazing. We just really can't afford to lose too many games the rest of the year, like maybe one. We win by a point over the Raiders. Ravens again has to be a win. It is. That is a huge win because that separates us in the division. If we win 10, we're making the playoffs. The Bills were what, 3-10? 3-11 now. Lost to the Bengals. We should be in though. We should be in, and we play the Browns in week 18, so we essentially control our own destiny. But I think we're going to beat the Seahawks here for sure. 35-7. And this could essentially be for the division, right? We should be in though at 11-5. Beat the Browns. Nope, 32-29. We are into the playoffs though. Just unfortunately the wild card instead of maybe the divisional right away. Kenny Pickett throws for 5,400 yards and 46 touchdowns. Ignore the interceptions. He's up all the way to a 71 overall. Rushing, Najee with a pretty great year, 1,300 yards on the nose, 13 touchdowns. Lucky number 13 for Najee, 4.7 per carry. Receiving, Justin Jefferson went off, 112 catches for over 1,700 yards, 18 TDs, 1,100 yards for Deontay Johnson at 95 catches, 9 touchdowns for Pickens. He goes over 1,000 yards. Pat Freiermuth, like, pretty close to 1,000. And then defensively, a lot of 13s in here that we're seeing. 113 tackles for a lot. And wow, the pressure. 17 tackles for loss for Gary, 13 for Watt, 12 for Allen, 10 for Payne. Bring in the pain. And then 25.5 sacks for Rashawn Gary, 20.5 for TJ Watt, 9.5 for Allen, 8.5 for Deron Payne. I'm wondering if the CPU moved Rashawn Gary back to rush end. Even though I changed it, 25.5 sacks would be crazy from the rush D tackle position. That would be insane. Did they move my team around? Survey says no. They, yes. I don't know. It worked. I'm not changing it. All right, wild card. We're jumping in. Derrick Henry, Monty Hooker, Jeffrey Simmons are the top players still from Tennessee. They've done a pretty good job keeping their core together, it would seem. Not that Amani Hooker's like amazing, but we're gonna jump forward here. I mean, we're 90 overall. This shouldn't be close, but I'm sure it will end up being close. I guess they're in 85, but it's 21-0. Tennessee cannot get on the board. Finally, their first field goal. It's 24-3. This would be an unbelievable collapse from this team. I don't think it's going to happen. 31-3. Tennessee gets a touchdown. Good for them. Good for them. 31, I think, did we score? Was it 34? Something close. 34-10 is your final. Kenny Pickett, 230 yards passing and 2 touchdowns and a win for the Steelers. As we move on to the divisional, the Steel Curtain is really showing what they're made of. Jack Ham, Jack Lambert, Mean Joe Green, Mel Blount, Donnie Shell, L.C. Greenwood. I know a lot of those Steelers. Donnie Shell might have been a little bit... Nah, he would have been a part of some of those teams, maybe. I guess I can't say for certain. But how crazy is it that the school Mean Joe Green went to, which was North Texas, was a different name. And then they turned into the Mean Green after Mean Joe Green. That's how good he was, is that he was so good, the school changed their team name to his nickname, essentially. Wild stuff. We're into the playoffs, divisional, 7-7 here versus the Cleveland Browns, who take the lead 14-7, coming up to the end of the first half. It's 14 all, now into the third quarter. A bunch of quick scores make it 21-17, 28-17 now, 28-20, 3.5 minutes to play. It's 3rd and 2. We need a stop desperately. I mean, you'd figure they would just run the ball here. We're going to go ahead and blitz. They're going to pass. It's going to the flat, and that is a completion we didn't need. I just need to intercept the quarterback here. Oh, that was so close. 2nd and 5. It's got to be a run, right? You'd think that it would be. Oh, wow. Change of direction from Chubb is nuts. He has 217 yards and 3 touchdowns. We've been beat by 1 player. I'm run committing middle. We have to. We have to. Make a hit. Let's go. And Chubb loses a yard. We're going to call a timeout. Are they going to go for it? Oh, that's so ballsy. I actually love the decision in real life. But, oh, no way. He just stopped. The ball came loose. It's recovered by Minka. Minka Fitzpatrick down the sideline with speed. Cooper in pursuit down the sideline. Touchdown, Minka Fitzpatrick. That's a miracle in Cleveland for Pittsburgh. Oh my goodness. As you can see in the top left, it's not arcade difficulty. We're on sim. I thought he was going to run a drag across the field. He just stopped. But a big hit came in from behind and then in front. He got table-topped. The football came loose. We recovered miraculously. But we need the 2-point conversion. Oh my God. I don't even believe what I just saw. I was so defeated. But again, we're not in yet. 2-point conversion is good. It's 28-28. I wasn't even ready to make that call, dude. That was unbelievable. 3rd and 5. 30 seconds remain. Pittsburgh desperately trying to get into field goal range, and they can't. Oh, that's a big sack for Deshaun Watson to take. He didn't want it, but now he knows what it's like. Shoes on the other foot, probably doesn't like it so much. The Scottish Hammer, Jamie Gillen, gonna kick it back. Need a big return. We can get into field goal range. We can. 18 seconds. Oh, it's a lot of yards. We only have 1 timeout. Jefferson, 7 for 127 and a touchdown today. We're going to need him to make a big play. Z-spot and go I like. I guess that's a favorite play. All right. Middle of the field could be wide open. Jefferson, super open. You got to break a tackle. Let's go, Justin. Let's go. Timeout, timeout, timeout. That's our last one. We're not into field goal range yet. I so wish we had another timeout. I mean, we got to go out of bounds here. They're kind of playing it. We're just going to throw it away. I don't know. I don't think we have enough time to call a play and get out of bounds. Okay, Myles Garrett screaming off the edge. That's fine. We just didn't have a timeout. If we had 2, I honestly think we could win that game. But instead, we're going to overtime, and we won the toss. That's huge. We're getting the football. We're going to score. Shout out Matt Hasselbeck. Except we're not going to throw a pick 6 like he did. I mean, I feel like this is going to be ball game unless we screw this up royally. The only thing we really have to worry about is Myles Garrett. That's it. And I guess that's a big problem. It's a pretty big problem to have. But we're gonna score. The drive can take as much time as possible. As long as it ends in the end zone, we're gonna be good. That's football. I don't really want to settle for a field goal, though, is my point. Because a field goal, okay, they still have a chance. Touchdown ends the game. Najee in motion. The tight end's wide open up the seam. It's the former first-round pick, Barkley. Okay, it was worth it. Didn't even talk about Calvin Austin, by the way. That's a player I like. I like Calvin Austin. We're just going to play it a little bit conservative there. No need to stretch it down the field and throw a pick. You never know. One errant throw, and I'm crying. And that's all it would take. All right. This has been an absolute chew clock clinic of getting just enough. That was actually my final timeout. Okay. That's a little concerning. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to max protect, and I'm going to throw it away. Flag, intentional grounding. I don't care. Loss of down, plus move me back a little bit. It's all right. Cleveland, of course, going to ice us, but I've done just enough to keep moving the clock. Playing for the field goal. Originally, it was going to be for the touchdown, but I thought it was clear that this was going to be the way to play. And I don't think Cleveland will get the ball back. I don't think they will. I think when time runs out, the game's over. So it's always tough when you're getting iced. We're going to go for it. Kick is up, and it snuck in. Field goal is good. That's the end of the quarter, and that's the end of the overtime period. Bye-bye, Steelers. What happened? It took overtime, but we got it done. 31-28. Love to see it. Playmaker for Pickens takes him up to an 85 overall. Yeah, man. I mean, that divisional played like the Super Bowl. We're in the conference championship here. All right. Chargers, 88 overall. They're really good. Joey Bosa, Keenan Allen, Khalil Mack. It's tough. Unbelievably, unbelievably, as I checked my recording, somehow, maybe I pressed spacebar, somehow I stopped recording. I looked over to end the video was over. I wasn't recording. You missed a gem in the Super Bowl. No gameplay through either of these, by the way. I made a joke about Kenny Pickett having no touchdowns. It was, pretend it was funny, I don't know. It is 3 a.m. I've been recording for hours now. Somewhat delirious, I've mentioned that. Byron Weber had 3 touchdowns? Who is this? But then, also didn't play in the Super Bowl. It looked like we were going to win. Rams kind of made a nice little comeback there, but the game was already over when they scored that last touchdown. 27-24, we won. I hate that I don't have the celebration. As you can see, we got torched through the air by Jonathan Barlow, but Kenny Pickett threw for 373 and 2 touchdowns. And the gem I had was only a thought you get this late into the evening, is that Kenny Pickett is wearing his gloves so that he doesn't leave fingerprints on the Lombardi Trophy. You can remember that one. It's a gem. Justin Jefferson had 15 catches for 284 and 2 touchdowns. Unbelievable. Lights out Super Bowl performance. Yeah, so sorry about that. Kind of anticlimactic. You couldn't see it happen in real time, but I can't go back and replay it. It's not a thing that exists, so sorry about that. Kenny Pickett, 5th in MVP. And our season recap ends like this. Justin Jefferson wins Super Bowl MVP. Josh Allen MVP, but not ours. Bobby Booth, Rookie of the Year. That's it, though. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry about this weird ending. Subscribe for more. What a great impression. See you in the next one. Take it easy.